How's it? Legs. Steroids? Nah. Chicken and rice. Protein shakes? Yes. Still yet to be sponsored. Which means I'm spending my hard-earned schmeckles on whey and creatine. So actually, for the first time in months, I am on supplements. I would not have liked to be a barbell today. When I say we squatted, we squatted. I ripped my pants wide open first set. So I was really just doing glute spreads to the whole gym throughout the whole workout, which was brilliant. And I'm sure very enjoyable for bystanders. But, you know, legs pumped. I felt horrible the whole time and just felt like throwing up. And if you really think about it, throwing up during a set is like the most manly thing you can do. Now, I'm not saying do it. However, if you were to do it, people always resemble it, relate themselves to mythical creatures. It's like, oh, I'm like a dinosaur. I don't think I've ever heard someone relate themselves to a dinosaur. Well, I'm like a absolute woolly mammoth. Guess what? You can be a dragon, just projectile vomiting everywhere. Now, probably not the most cleanly nor advisory thing to do, but nonetheless pretty manly. And if that's not asserting dominance, I don't know what is. Now, on the note of not wanting to be a dumbbell today, because I absolutely bent that shit. Yeah, we squatted heavy and we squatted lots, 10 sets of 10. And then we did hammies, other things is what it is. Sure, you'll enjoy and watch it as we go along through this. Now, on the note of legs squatting heavy, do you know, obviously your legs push you forward with momentum as you run, you know, through the bushes hunting for your next meal, as we do on a daily basis. But do you know what also does that is cars. Now, I personally like cars, and I've been into cars for a very long time. And funny enough, I actually had a poster of the concept of the Mark V Toyota Supra on my cupboard when I was a kid. Later on in my life, I bought a Mark III Toyota Supra and rebuilt it. And, you know, now I drive responsibly, very quickly, and with the intent of being safe. So, on the note of vehicles, obviously I think I have a special sort of perception of vehicles, as I prefer the types that you buy old, they rusty, horrible shit boxes, and then you build them up and make them less rusty, less shit boxy, but ultimately still a piece of garbage that you've sunk way too much money in and should probably be in a dump. Now, speaking of that, obviously I would choose a couple, and if I had my dream 12-car garage, we're going to split this down scientifically, right? And we're going to make sure that we come out of this situation with 12 cars that we want. Now, obviously, if you know your 12 cars, feel free to let me know, and I will critique them brutally, because if you choose like a Honda Civic, you can shove it up you know. So personally, I think I'm gonna have a couple JDMs, right? So you have to have the Skyline, right? You have to have the Mark II and the Mark III. No, you have to have the Mark II and the Mark IV. No. See, now I'm confused myself. Whatever. So obviously I'll have my Mark III Toyota Supra. That's number one, right? On the list. Nissan NSX, right? That's two. Those are two cars I can build, right? That's brilliant. Then, number three, R32. Nissan Skyline R32. Another little piggy that would absolutely love being built by me. Then an R34 as well. R33 looks like poo, so we're not going to have that one. Then Mark IV Toyota Supra. Lovely. A Civic Type R. That I'm like an old one though, that I'll put like a 2J in, or a V8 or a V12 even, and BMW E30. Then, now, so that's already 7. That's 7 vehicles. What else are we gonna do now? Now we have to have dailies. Naturally, I live in a country where you need something that's levitating above the ground if you don't want to get stuck in the potholes. So, new Land Rover Defender, that's number 8. Then, what else do we have? We have 4 more cars. Then, an old Land Rover Defender. Probably like the short wheelbase ones though, not the long wheel. The long wheelbase ones are weird. Then a Bugatti Chiron. You have to have a Bugatti Chiron. Like, why the hell else wouldn't you? If you can tell someone, first of all, the color of your Bugatti, followed by just zooming past them, like screaming with that, I think it's a V12. What are people ever going to say to you? And Lexus LFA, that's a V10 as well. Sounds like a Formula 1 car. The old Formula 1 cars have V10 engines. A Lexus LFA has a V10 engine. Do you know how ridiculous that is? That should be illegal. Now, our last car, Mercedes Gullwing. You gotta have a little bit of class in there, you know, a little bit of the classic. Now, that would be a very, very, very expensive car garage right there. And I've just realized that I still want a lot more. So that's probably not even like my set in stone 12 car garage, but you know, it has the classics. You know, it's got the JDMs, it's got the off-roaders, it's got the fast cars, and it's got the classic cars. It's got everything. If someone like comments, obviously, and says that their car garage is better, you're simply wrong, all right? There's not much else to it besides that. I mean, maybe you'll have a class that I've forgotten, like what other class? Military? But you're not going to drive around in a, like, Hummer. Hummers are weird. Unless you're, like, jacked. Maybe a Hummer's a good idea. That's true, that's true. I never thought about that. Maybe a gaming van, like a Sprinter, and you just put monitors everywhere, just crank Fortnite all day while you're driving. It's actually a pretty great idea, to be honest with you. Now, that's that. In terms of motorbikes, obviously you have to have dirt bikes because you want to, you know, go off-roading, do somersaults on pieces of land, all that sort of great stuff. Then you have to have a road bike, which in my opinion would be probably some form of BMW bike or KTM bike that converted into like a cafe racer. If you don't want a cafe racer, give it a Google. They're pretty damn cool looking. It's just kind of like a aftermarket modeling you can do towards it. So yeah, I think that's a pretty solid set of vehicles. Would I be able to drive them all? No. Would I probably not drive half of them? Yes. Would I have a favorite? 100%. Now, that's not to say that they wouldn't be loved and cherished, because I'm big into petrol. Also, if anyone says anything electric, just shame on you, like generally. Imagine like you have all these options of vehicles and you choose a Tesla. First of all, if you go, oh, you know, it's because it's good for the environment, go fuck yourself. You know, creating a Tesla is awful for the environment, worse than like years of a fossil fuel car driving about. And before you say anything, I study automotive engineering, so I know what I'm talking about. As well as, if you buy an electric car, the lifespan of an electric car's battery before it starts depleting to shit is 4 years. So you're ultimately paying for 4 years worth of a good car before it starts slowly dying. And the price of new batteries is about 3/4 of the price of the car itself. So really, you're just wasting money as well. Now, I know people think that it's saving the bees and everything like that, but you're wrong, and that's okay. You know, you have to learn, and that's what this is. It's a learning channel. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't take anything I say too seriously, because I'm no doctor, no genius, no scientist. Take it with a grain of salt, hey? Yeah, but anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. I hope it was entertaining, at least, because I know to be completely honest, it was not insightful at all. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.